Yo, what up, folks? Y'all know what it is. This is Mr. Twice. Y'all watching Thinking Twice. So look, we're gonna go ahead and get the ball rolling, baby, and we're gonna let everybody know the difference between love and hate and why it's so thin. And is it a thin line? Who knows? I don't know. We might know. We might figure it out. And if you guys like the nice background, the background change, just let me know. How's everybody week been going? It's been straight. What up, folks? Y'all know what it is. This is Mr. Hopefully everybody week been all right. That's what I'm hoping for. It's more like how thin is the line? That's the headline. Oh yeah, so we're gonna do that one. Do that. Inspirational, well, amazing. Oh, oh yeah, oh yeah. Put that there. Oh yeah, Cece, just give me a couple moments and we're gonna get it right back popping. I didn't get the chance to ask you, Cece, how your day was and how your week was. But I always like hearing about your week for sure. I always like to. It just wouldn't be right if I didn't know how Cece was doing. Like, how that work? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Cece, I'm just sharing it to these groups, talent generation. Hopefully they wanna check it out, say what's up. Couple FM radios, couple internet stations. Okay, okay, okay. And then we just gonna put that on my page. Yo, what up, folks? Y'all know what it is. This is Mr. Twice, and this is WGSN Going Solo Network. You are with Thinking Twice or watching Thinking Twice, and we got an amazing show for you today. We got Cece on the ones and twos. She making sure everything get the ball rolling. And today, I really wanted to talk about how thin the line was between love and hate. Like, and I don't understand how love and hate can relate. But here we might even just go ahead and give a little debate. You dig? Hey, you can't steal my lines, you know what I'm saying? I'll be rapping, just don't sell them because I don't be capping, you dig? So with that thin line between love and hate, everyone know they seen the movie, they got the crazy lady. She didn't ended up uh giving them a chance. Don't play me, whoop this, whoop that. But you know, it ended up she loved him and ended up hating him. And then you might sometimes just love and hate them at the same time. So we have to first set down some guidelines and some guide rules between love and hate. My job in life is to make sure that people understand self-love and know how to love their self. So this would be a perfect show to go ahead and dibble and dabble in between. But everyone already knows what love is or your perception of love. And, you feeling wanted, feeling loved, feeling needed. And, someone people are addressing to your needs and compromising with you, showing you care and being honest with you and all that, this, that, and the third. So that is pretty much the gist of love. But hate is a totally different ballgame. So I got love and hate are similar in being directed towards one another because who he is or who she is. So, despite the similarities, there seems to be two polar opposites between the two. Absolutely. So, when you love someone, very often they want you to thrive. They want you to succeed. They want you to be the best person you can be. That's where you get love from. Now, when you hate someone, they are more likely to wish that you suffer. So, how can one absolutely want you to thrive, but also want you to suffer And shouldn't that line, that distance between the two is so great that they should never even intertwine with one another ever? But they do often, all the time. And it is a few reasons why they do. Now, first things first, we kind of set the guidelines. Now you have to wonder if if we realize why there is hate and why love is so close together, then you kind of get the feeling that some people can be attracted to someone that they hate. As weird as that sounds, it happens a lot, whole lot, and it doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how you can literally be attracted to someone you hate. Yet, as I'm doing my research and thinking about a couple things, I'm like, you know what? I've seen that happen quite a few times, to where that they love, or not even love, they like to be around people that they hate. Now, here's the reason why. Number one, a woman, even a man, and I believe men do this more than women. Go ahead and let me know if you think who does it more, men or women, because that'll be up for a debate too. Now, the first things first, why you can be attracted to somebody that you hate. Um, he or she is a challenge. Now, so the guy you love, the guy you hate, the girl you love, or the girl you hate, more likely leaning towards hate right now. But the girl that you hate, the guy that you hate, they're usually, if they play hard to get, you might, you know, want to get a little closer. For some reason, I don't know what it is. When somebody plays hard to get, that makes them more valuable. People want them more when they're hard to get, I guess, because nobody's had them and they just want to know what's going on with them. So, whether they realize it or not, the dynamic sets off the reward centers. Excuse me. Uh, so the dynamics of somebody that's playing hard to get sets off your reward centers in your brain, and you know them turning up the nose or saying how rude and annoying, that could be some type of attraction. Like, yo, they're snobby. Even a couple of my buddies have yeah, I like those snobby girls because it means that everybody can't get her. And if I got her, it's a different story. Me personally, I don't like snobby girls. If I think you're too hard to get, I'm just gonna let you go. Like, can't it's can't do it. I got too many other hard goals that I need to get to. You get what I'm saying? Business wise, professionally. Um, so if my love life is just as challenging, that's a turn off for me. And it may be why I go for the layups. You gotta like who likes you. That's a part of a superior man as well. You feel me? Gotta make life easy. Now, there's a guy that says, Mr. Kerner. I didn't get a chance to get his first name. Terrible. But it says, the more we pursue a reward, the more valuable that it becomes. This may be true. May be true. Think about it. Because the longer you're after something, the longer you sought after or trying to get, the more effort you put in, more hard work, the dedication, the sleepless nights you get after it. That consumes your time, consumes your mind, and then you putting in all your grind to go get that goal, get that reward. And sometimes that challenge that he or she is becomes more valuable to you. So that is a way that hate, you could be attracted to someone you hate. Another one, now this is one I was like, yeah, this is for real. He or she knows exactly who she is. Now, one thing society hates is an arrogant, cocky SOB. Society hates them, but we love them. We hate to see them win, but we always put their stories out. Why is that? It's weird, ain't it? That's weird to me. But Here goes the aspect, and it boils down to self-esteem. We can gravitate towards people that love their self, that absolutely can't nobody tell you who they are, what they're going through, where they're going. They're going to tell you what it is when, and what it's going to be. And we as people absolutely love that. Absolutely love those kind of stories. Love those kind of people. Something about confidence. We love to be around confident people because when we're around confident people, we start to get a little confident. We start knowing a little bit more. We, by association, gain more value in ourselves by being around other people that know that they're valuable. And that kind of stuff rubs off on you for real. So that can be an absolute reason why that love and hate can mix, or we have an attraction to people we hate because we hate that person that is always confident and we can't bring them down. A lot of people hate that. And if you're one of those people out there listening right now that loves to hate or hates to love, especially with somebody that knows where they are, you gotta think about who you are for sure and what you feel about yourself because that self-esteem is a real thing. Um, now, the difference, now a lot of times cockiness kind of rolls into that area as well. Now, with that cockiness, there's a lot of different definitions of cockiness, and a lot of people don't understand the difference between confidence and cocky. So we tend to lean on that cocky side. But cockiness, if I were to take a moment to explain it to you so that you won't hate somebody for having that high self-esteem, I should say. Cockiness is an exaggeration of your value in a situation. That's cockiness. Now, you got to ask yourself, do these people exaggerate their value? Yes or no? That's up for debate and depending upon the situation, but a lot of times they truly don't. I usually don't. Now let's say like that person with that self-esteem, they start to irritate you. And the fact that they're living their life fully, succeeding, they're on their own terms, and undeniably learning that, like, have that shine. That right there makes people want to see them fail for some odd reason. But we loved it. But we love watching them. But we want to see them fail. So how can you love watching something? You enjoy watching somebody's rise and demise. So that's a love-hate kind of situation right there. So when you are confident in yourself, people are going to love you and people are going to hate you. And a lot of times that love and hate is going to come from the same person. That's deep right there. So we got to figure out the people that's going to love. That's success. Now, the next reason why a lot of people end up finding hate attractive, or when somebody hates you and is attracted to you, is something new. You might be the absolute total opposite of who they are, but that puzzle piece that absolutely fits perfectly to make a beautiful picture, they want to know and they're curious if that picture is true in their mind, that is going to be true in reality. So sometimes, like, we want to get out the norm. We want to get out from those predictable situations. We want to have some adventure. We want to have a nice escapade, and people that we hate, some tend to, like I said earlier, do their own thing, own terms, on their own times. And they're unpredictable. You can't predict that if someone has their own time, for sure. So you might just absolutely love it. And people tend to love those kind of things, but hate them at the same time. But see, these are polar opposites. These emotions are supposed to be so far apart, but they intertwine so quickly that it's I wouldn't even know how to explain it. Wouldn't even know how. Was trying to give an analogy within nature, but I don't know of another attribute or two things in nature that are supposed to be so far apart but so well connected. Now, that's how someone can be attracted to something they hate, which is an oxymoron in itself, an anomaly in itself. But those anomalies happen on a day-to-day basis, and we can point them out and get to the bottom of it anytime we want. And the reason why we're really talking about this, because there are a lot of haters around here. I've been getting hated on a lot too, just to be honest. And I don't know if they love to hate or if they hate my love or if they hate what I do or they love. I don't know. There's a lot of things that, love and hate can generate. But, like, again, that's up for debate. Hey, but again, this is WGSN Going Solo Network. We're about to take a quick break and we're going to jump into the real thin line between that love and hate and how that's going to go. And now, this is Mr. Twice, and you're watching Thinking Twice, and we're going to be right back, baby. Don't go nowhere. Yo, what's happening, man? Y'all know what it is. We right back. This is Mr. Twice on WGSN Going Solo Network. You're watching Thinking Twice. And today, I'm kind of rapping a little bit, but it ain't no cap though. When you rapping, it ain't no capping. That's where it's at. But we talking about how thin is really the line or the difference between love and hate. Because it could be thick, it could be thin, but it's debatable for sure. Now, here goes a couple reasons why you can love somebody but hate somebody at the same time. And having these kind of emotions tend to give you emotional highs and emotional lows. And when you have those emotional highs and emotional lows, and you purposely give somebody that, if you know what you're doing, that person's never going to forget about you. So, do you want somebody to love and hate you? Do you ever want to be forgotten? That's up for you to decide. Now, the first reason why love and hate has a thin line, or the first scenario, I should say, and this is most obvious, in which love and hate a person. You can love and hate a person at the same time, in which your love is not reciprocated. So, pretty much, if you love somebody and your love, they don't really want your love, but you're expressing your love to them. If you think you're basically a lovable person, and it can be hard to comprehend that someone might not love you. Like, I'm a good person. I'm a attractive young man, attractive young lady. Um, I got a lot going for myself. I treat people well, and you don't get and understand why the person you want doesn't want you. You just don't get it. You're like, yo, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. Um, Talking right. I'm appealing to their needs. I'm, trying to be spontaneous. This, that, and the third. This is what you're doing. But this person doesn't want your love, and we hate it. Why? The reason why we hate it. So, uh, number one, it's a lacking confidence. It's a lacking confidence that, furthermore, takes a blow to our self-esteem. So, everyone has wavering confidence. Some days we feel good, some days we feel bad. Now, on days we feel bad, if we're not getting that love back, our self-esteem takes a hit. And when it takes a hit, what happens? We start lashing out on other people. Because normally, the normal human instinct is to make people feel how we feel. That's normal instinct. You don't have to talk about it. You can't. And if you don't recognize it, you do this. That's just what it is. We want people to be at our level, our vibrations of feelings all the time. So if you have some self-worth, you may be temporarily fooled into thinking that the lack of reciprocation of the love reveals a fundamental flaw in the other person. If you are direct your negative feelings at the person because of that flaw is his or her responsibility, which is not the case. And if you're bound to that hate, that might come just a little bit less. Once that love hits, that love's going to be less once we think about that hate. Yet, in other circumstances, it could actually grow because those are polar opposites start growing apart, and those feelings for that one person grow. And now this person didn't even do anything wrong. You can't even get mad at this person. So what happens is you fall deeper into the trance and you hate it. Why? My next part. The reason why you hate it is because it makes you vulnerable. Oh, that word just makes everybody cringe. Who wants to be vulnerable? But here's the thing. In order to have a meaningful relationship, you have to be vulnerable with the other person. You have to. There's no relationship that is meaningful where you have not been vulnerable with them. So, like these days, everyone wants to put up their guard, hold up their dukes. We want to block off people, make sure they can't touch us, can't get to our heart, get to our feelings. But if we let someone in, we're being vulnerable to them. We're telling them our secrets. We're showing them our true colors. Because, we don't get a chance to really show our vulnerability all the time. And if you always have your guard up, you're going to be tired. You're going to be irritable. Then you're just going to end up letting in the wrong person. And that person's going to damage you more because you haven't recognized who to let in and who not, because you're just always on your guard and you're not learning yourself. That's what we're here for. We're here to learn ourselves. But when you're at work, you can't show your true colors. I was out and about, shopping, grocery store, whatever the case may be. You can't show your true colors. You can't be you. But you can be you, but just a reserved portion of you. So the reason why we love a person but hate them, because that person gets us in our feelings. They get us vulnerable. They get us talking about things that we really don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about, but that other person has made us feel a little bit comfortable so we can speak about those things. And honestly, we don't like it. Because the why we don't like it, because that gives that person ammunition to hurt us. That gives that person the ability to break us down, the ability to make us feel less than who we are, to sabotage our life, to make us suffer. But that also gives that person the ability to help us thrive in life as well. So that love hate is so close with that instance. You can make someone suffer and thrive within the flick of your tongue, with your words, with your time or where you spend it. Think about that. So when you're vulnerable and then somebody else lets you, or someone else lets you in, you have to take that into consideration. If they care about us, they're taking a chance with us, you know? And so after, that part, which means we're vulnerable, is because that vulnerability increases the chance. Like I said, you're going to get hurt. It's scary. It's risky business. But you have to take that risk. You definitely do, especially because we're communal creatures and we have the most extensive languages on the face of this earth. We have the most ways to communicate, us being as human beings. So those that don't like to get vulnerable, you're not being your true self and you're not being the best version of you, if you really think down to it, because we're communal creatures. So that in itself is a problem, for sure. Another reason why love and hate can definitely be intertwined, or that line might not be so thin, or someone you love, you can also hate. It takes away your personal freedom. How does it do that? I don't know. No, well, I might tell you. So, um, it is easy enough to see how love and hate can coexist in these cases, right? But here's the thing: you can hate a person, and you can even love them, and you may be perceived as giving a deal-making sacrifice or a punishment. Now, this is going towards your personal freedom. So, basically, let's say that you love this person. They're going to want some of your time. You're not going to be able to get to do those things that you want to do. You're going to have to sacrifice some of those things that you want to do, some of those hobbies, some of those goals, some of those dreams, especially because they want your time. And because you love them, you're going to want to give them your time because they make you feel good, because you've been vulnerable with them and they do that thing you like. And now you can't even get enough of them. We've all been there. But here's the catch. And I didn't really understand this just until recently, as I'm doing my studies on, masculine and feminine energy. When you are the masculine, the masculine energy at its root core basis. And I want to do a show on this later. I probably will. Is decision making and freedom. Now, for men, those are what we need, what we want as men. And ladies, if you want decision making and freedom, just know that is your masculine essence. Because Rosie the Riveter told you, said that women can do it all, do everything. If you guys don't know who Rosie the Riveter is, Google it. But that is a masculine form of energy, for sure. So what tends to happen when we fall in love, we start to compromise our freedoms, because we're not making decisions just for ourselves anymore. We're making decisions for someone else also. We're not making decisions just for ourselves anymore. We're making decisions for someone else also. So when your freedoms and your decision makings don't revolve around you anymore, that personal aspect of it tends to dissipate. Now, guess what happens? You hate it. You love the ways it makes you feel, but you hate that you're not doing what you want to do. That love hate is real, and it all comes with sacrifices, to be honest. And once we learn to let go of those wants and needs to always have control and always want to have be in charge. Now, those kind of people that always want to be in charge, and one, they probably don't trust. Number two, they may have had some issues in the past. And the people that are always with that, and the people that always want to be in charge, I almost guarantee you, and I will bet you any amount of money, we could bet on it. Tell me, who wants to bet? The people that have those control issues also have anger issues. Anger and control, they link too. Believe that. Now, there was one thing that I skipped a little bit earlier. Now, those were the ways love and hate can be intertwined. You know, the love that you have for somebody else takes away that personal freedom. It makes you vulnerable. Also, you feel like that your love isn't reciprocated. And so now you feel like you're not good enough. So you hate that person, even though if they did nothing wrong. Those are a few of the things how love and hate can cross paths. And they cross paths like grandma woven some socks or something. In and out, in and out, in and out. There's also one more way before I get back to the part that I missed. There is that when you love and hate at the same time. Now, this case is called ambivalence. And, that happens all the time, but it's short lived. And so, for example, I really couldn't think of some examples on my own. So I had to look some up. We're all learning. So, this is a learning experience. But let's say you had a pup, or, your dog's been around for a long time. They're getting older. Your dog's hip went out of place. Your dog's in agony all the time, can't run around, can't move. You love your dog though. Of course, we all love dogs. They're loyal, they're amazing. They bring us joy and happiness, and they can understand when we're not feeling good. And what do? They start to cater to us and try the best that they can do. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what your job is. It doesn't matter none of that matters to a dog. They just want you. But like I said, your dog is on his last run, and your dog passes. You hate the fact that your dog died. Your best friend, the person that cares about you, has that unconditional love no matter what. But you love the fact that your dog is not suffering no more. You get what I'm saying? So that normally, when that love hate hits at the same time, that you can't change what happened. So a moment of acceptance usually comes into play. So that is another way where love and hate can live in the same moment. Yet when love and hate usually live in the same moment, what I would suggest is to think about all the good things that happen. Once you think about everything that you've been through with that person or in that situation, you have to appreciate the moment. Think about all the values you had, all the lessons you learned, maybe even all the trouble that you got into that was, downright fun. But go down memory lane, enjoy that because life is about making memories. So you have to make sure to make those memories, or you're not really going to enjoy life the way you want to. Now, my last statement, or uh, the statement that I missed, I should say, um, because we're talking about hate. We have brought up haters, and I missed this point, and I'm really mad that I missed it because there are a lot of haters around here, and they love to hate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to be very, very focused when I tell you this right here, because a lot of times this may be you. Now, we're not mad at you, but I just want you to know that you could be a hater and you could love to hate. Now, no woman or man that is secure about their self hates on another person. That is facts. Because if they're secure about themselves, they're going to want somebody else to feel how they feel. And I kind of alluded to that earlier. So, all you haters, people that love to hate, you just got to start to figure out who you are. And you have to have that confidence. You know what confidence is? Excuse me. Confidence, I told you what cocky is a little earlier. Confidence. This is what I really need for us to all have. Confidence is when you accept your flaws. And when you accept your flaws, can't nobody tell you who you are. So that's why that person that you hate or that person that's hard to get is attractive to you because they got that confidence and they already know that I understand my flaws, but you can't tell me about my flaws at all. And if you do tell me, what do I care? Because why? I've accepted them already and I'm already focused on something else anyway. Haters are usually focused on flaws because they have their own flaws that they haven't accepted. So, ladies and gentlemen, accept your flaws, stop your hate, and move into love. Because once you do, your love for hate is going to subside. And then you may even come across somebody that may love what you hate about you. Because everyone absolutely has someone out there that loves everything that you hate about yourself. And you shouldn't hate it anyway. Hate's a real strong word. And you don't want yourself to suffer. You want yourself to thrive. So you should love your flaws. I always tell my chick, I haven't told her this yet, but I usually end up saying this anyway. Hopefully she's listening. Your flaws make you flawless. Why? Because you've accepted them and you love them and they're thriving. They're getting better. Flawless is perfect. Perfect is a moving target. So if you're always getting better each and every day, and those flaws are getting smaller and smaller each and every day, you're like perfect. So that's how your flaws make you flawless. That's a little game for you. You might want to write that down maybe 2 times. And that's what you call thinking twice. But look, at the end of the day, the moral of the story is you can absolutely love somebody and hate them at the same time. Yet when that hate comes, that hate is usually geared towards what how they make you feel. So let's be confident in who we are and how we feel, and not let anyone or anything dictate how we feel about us. Because once that confidence sets in, oh, you look like a different person. You sound like a different person. You walk like a different person. The way you light up rooms, you illuminate each and every corner, and people can't stop looking at you. Why? Because can't nobody tell you nothing. So that's what I need y'all to do. Let's go ahead and stop hating ourselves and love ourselves. And if we had to hate on someone else, let's think about what we love about them and why we want to hate on them. And then once we start accepting those flaws that we hate about ourselves, we're going to actually love ourselves. And that hate's going to subside and that love's going to rise. Hey, you know what it is. This is Mr. Twice. This is WGSN Going Solo Network. You was thinking twice. I probably threw a couple riddles at you. Hopefully you wrote them down. You know, hey, we had CC running the ones and twos. Greatly appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you check out all of our shows on the WGSN Going Solo Network. They are phenomenal. You're going to learn so much each and every day that you tap in and sign in and log on. Click that button, WGSN Going Solo Network. You're going to thank yourself for that you did. And you might love yourself too.